Hi again, it's Mike Evans here from Mobile Mentalism. Second video now reviewing the Motorola Atrix. And this time, not only am I reviewing the Atrix phone itself, but I've also got the laptop dock with me. Now this is the thing that makes the Atrix stand out from every other phone out there on the market at the moment. Not only is it a mobile phone in its own right, you can also turn it into a laptop. Why not? Why wouldn't you turn it into a laptop when mobile phones have doubled up as MP3 players, sat-navs and everything else you can think of? Surely putting them as a laptop, it's the next logical step, I guess. Anyway, when I first heard about the Atrix doubling up as a laptop, first of all I thought, actually that's quite obvious, that should be the thing that it does. And then I thought, maybe it's a bit of a gimmick, maybe it's just Motorola's way of trying to differentiate their Android phone from everyone else's out there. In other words, although clearly it works in the sense that you slot it into the laptop, it then powers the laptop, so, physically it works, does it actually work in real life? How well does it work as a laptop? And the crucial question, can it replace an actual laptop? Do you need to throw away the laptop that you've got? If you're looking for a new laptop, will the Atrix and Lapdock do as a complete replacement for your actual laptop? That's the question that I set out to find. Clove Technologies very kindly gave me an Atrix unit and a Lapdock to test. I've been doing that for the last few weeks, and in fact the review that you can find at mobilementalism.com actually wrote on the Lapdock. So I guess the quickest way to say this is that, well, yes, you can actually use it as a laptop, and you can use it very effectively as a laptop. What I found was that it's surprisingly good as a laptop. Not perfect, but very, very good nonetheless. So with that said, let's check it out. The first thing that you do, well, you've got the phone here, you've got the Lapdock there. Here, if you can see this, is where you slot the phone into. It's just a little thing that flips up. You've got two connectors there. The left one is the micro USB key, and the right one is the HDMI port, which rather usefully aligns up with the equivalent ports here on the actual phone itself. And all you do, you simply slot the Atrix in and wait. And the Atrix will work out that, oh, I'm now plugged into something. What is it? What do you want me to do? So, do nothing, go put a widget clock. It's entirely up to you. That's just the widget clock, just to show off that it is a widget clock. And that's it. And so when you open up the Lapdock, the Atrix will go, oh, hang on a sec, I'm now connected to something else. Something's happening here. Oh, it's a Lapdock. It's a Lapdock. And there you go. And that is it. And now your laptop is fully prepared and ready to go. And what you will find is that everything you see here is the session that was already saved, effectively, on the Atrix. Now the way that this works, let me try and explain this carefully. Think of Google's Chrome OS. It's a cloud-based laptop in the sense that nothing's stored locally. Well, it's the same with the Atrix. It has to be the same with the Atrix because the Lapdock, the actual laptop unit that you see here, is literally just a screen, a keyboard, and a battery. And there's nothing else. There's no intelligence in the laptop. It's all in the Atrix itself. So everything that you see here is being powered by the Atrix. The Atrix has the intelligence, it has the storage, it does everything. The only thing the Lapdock is acting as is a power unit, an input unit with a keyboard, and a display. Which kind of makes it a bit easier in the sense that when I've now just opened up Firefox, and yes, it is Firefox that the Atrix is running, not Chrome. The actual web browser on the Atrix itself is a standard Android web browser, I should note, but when you come to the Lapdock, it's Firefox that you use. No idea why. Anyway, when you fire up Firefox, as it were, and you start to use it, you'll notice that straight away I'm logged into Google Docs in this case, and this is the review that I was talking about that I wrote earlier for the Motorola Atrix. Everything else that you can find here, the other tabs that are open, I was using these earlier. What you'll find with these things, the reason why they're just there, they're instant, you open them and they're already used. They're already running. Well, not running as such, but the state of the session has already been, it's there on the Atrix anyway. So it's not like you've had to fire up a new version of Firefox, you've not had to log into anything or anything like that, because you did that before. I already did that a few hours ago. So now when I've come to use it, all I've done effectively, as far as the Atrix is concerned, is switch over to Firefox. the state of which was already saved. So in that respect, what you can think of as the laptop, when you have a laptop, a normal laptop, not the Lapdock, when you've got a normal laptop and you close it down, it goes into hibernation state. And then you open it up and everything that you'd saved before, everything that you were working on before, all of a sudden wakes up again. It's exactly the same with the Atrix. So all you need to think about, effectively, is that you never switch the laptop off, you simply put it in hibernation mode. But the crucial difference with a normal laptop, when you do put it in hibernation state and you wake it up again, it's always the same laptop. If you went to your friend's laptop, obviously, if you woke that up, it would have a completely different session there. It would have your friend's session. So whatever applications your friend was working on, they would be there. Because it's his laptop, not yours. It's a completely different laptop. That's fairly obvious. Whatever you've got running on your laptop is not running on his laptop. But with the Atrix, because everything's being saved and used with the phone itself, it's not on the laptop. So if I take this out, everything that I've taken out now, everything that I was working on the laptop, well, it's always been in here. So what I can do, I can go to any other Lapdock in the entire world, slot this in. So let's assume that this Lapdock, I go away to a friend's, or even another department in the company that I'm in, for example. I want to edit a document. I haven't got a laptop with me, but there's a few Lapdocks lying around. The Lapdock itself has absolutely no issues with data sensitivity or anything like that because there is no data in it. It is just a keyboard and a monitor. So I come along with my Motorola Atrix, I slot that in, I wait for it to go, oh, I'm in a Lapdock. What do? I'll have a widget clock. I like the widget clock. I load it up again. It will go, oh, something's happening here. What's happening here? I'm in a laptop dock. Now it's actually thinking, what? Sometimes the connection doesn't quite work. Come on. Let's do nothing this time. And you open it up. There we go. And the session state that was there before is there now. All the Atrix has done, it's switched back to Firefox WebTop application that was already there. But the beauty is this could be any other Lapdock in the entire world. You're not saving anything on the Lapdock. Now, what this means is, in terms of data security, you've got a lot more security than you would have if you had lots of laptops lying around. If I was using cloud computing, for example, where everything wasn't stored on the laptop but was stored elsewhere in the cloud, on the internet, on servers elsewhere, I would have to go to another laptop. I would have to then relog into Google Docs, for example, if I was using Google Docs, log into everything else, start up the sessions all over again. So yes, even though you're mobile in that sense, that you're going from one place to another, that you're able to take your work wherever you are because it's all in the cloud, if you're going to do it with that scenario, you've still got the issue that you're having to log into these services using your username and password on somebody else's laptop. Your username and password are very valuable. That's why, generally, it's not a good idea to log into something on an internet computer in an internet cafe, simply because you're giving your username and password on a PC or a laptop or whatever that's not yours, that's not trusted. Same with somebody else's laptop. If you're using somebody else's laptop, all of the data that you're entering, whether it's username and password, wherever you're saving, if you're saving documents there, copies of those documents are being stored on that laptop, even if it's just in temporary files. There's a trace of what you've downloaded that's temporarily been saved on that particular laptop. That's not ultimately all that secure. But with the Atrix's approach, nothing is stored on the laptop. The laptop has no memory, so there is no trace whatsoever. All of it is stored on your phone. Not only does this mean that in terms of being able to go from Lapdock to Lapdock and just open up the browsing session that you had and very, very quickly switch to it, you don't even need to log in because you're already logged in. It's not a different PC, it's not a different session. So you can instantly get to what you were doing before, and that's one of the great benefits of the Atrix. But not only that, because everything is kept in the phone and the phone is kept with you at all times, you never need to worry about putting your sensitive data on a machine that you don't trust. You can have as many of these lapdocks as you like. You don't have to trust the lapdock. There is no worries whatsoever. There are no trust issues with the lapdock. All the data is being handled by your phone. And that is the brilliant genius, if you like, of the Atrix. Okay, so I hope I got that part over with, just quite where the benefit comes from in having this concept of the phone and the lapdock, and why it's a unique proposition that no other laptop will let you do. Why, even though you've got the cloud computing concept, why even that isn't executed quite as well as it is on the Atrix, in the sense that here you don't need to keep logging into everything, it's all there. Hopefully that explains quite why the lapdock is such a unique, and I've got to say, excellent proposition. So kudos to Motorola for coming up with this. Okay, I've waffled on enough about the justification of the lapdock and why it's such a good idea. In the next video I'm going to show you what it's actually like to use as a laptop. Can you actually use the lapdock as a laptop?